Welcome guys, Mel here from Mel's Motors. Behind me is the Rewaco RF1 Turbo LT. 2020 model. It's coming for a coolant leak, so we're going to get it up in the air and have a look, see where it's coming from. Sorry about the background noise, it's a live workshop. It's a working day as always, so there is going to be plenty of noise in the background. Anyway, stick around, see what this problem is. Okay, so it's up in the air. That's what it looks like from the underside. I've already got a few drips on the floor, so I'll rock in there where it's coming from. Some residue here on this stabiliser bar. Looking right above it, looks like a thermostat housing. A bit difficult to get to, there's a radiator in the way with a fan, so it's hand space is pretty limited. I need to drain the coolant out so we can undo that housing. There is a drain plug here, so I'll get a tub to save that. But before I undo this, I need to bring it back down, open the cab up and loosen the radiator cap. Otherwise, once we undo this, it'll create a depression and it will stop emptying. Okay, these are Rewacos. I guess most of you watching this probably never seen one or heard of it. These all open up in sections. Got the front seat that opens up. The seats are velcroed in, we don't need to get those off. But the centre flips so you can gain access to the engine, and also tailgate lifts up. Also got a fuel cap, so that's the last thing that opens up as you need to refuel. So we have a key lock on this side, one on the opposite side. With an ignition key there, another key there. That one there will undo the fuel cap, but what we need to do is open this area up so we can gain access to the engine. But to get to that, we need to lift the seat up. To lift the seat up, we need to get to the other side. So I grab the key, lift the seat. It's on a hydraulic strut, so stay out of the way. Right in this corner we have if you can just see that, there's a little plastic lever, so we're going to pull that up. No, already pulled it. Pull it down the other way. Okay. And then we can lift it to gain access to the engine area. You've got to leave the seat up as well on these. There is a strut holding this up. It doesn't seem overly strong, so I am just going to put a prop on there just to keep it away from my head. Only 2 hands for this. Okay, it's propped up now, so I know my noggins are going to be safe. Have a look in here. So we've got turbo intercooler, got intake manifold there. This is the expansion bottle, so I just need to undo that cap. Leave it out of the way. Right, so now we're going to go back up and drain the coolant. Whilst we're here, this particular engine is out of Mitsubishi. It's a 1.5 litre turbocharged engine. So your coils, spark plugs, reasonably accessible if you want to service these. Okay, right, we're back up in the air. Now that I've released the cap, the leaks become more pronounced. As it was leaking, it was creating a depression, so it was leaked for a bit and stopped. Now that I've released the cap, it's dripping now, as you see it. So I've got a little plastic tub here, so I'm going to save the coolant, then I'll do a concentration test. If it's still good, we'll put it back in. If not, we'll add some more antifreeze to it. Okay, I'm draining the coolant into the tab. Okay, just about to see the drip from the thermostat housing. We can see one of the bolts there. This one here. I can barely see the one on the back. I may be able to get to that from the top. So I'll undo the bottom one first, and then I'll bring it down and see if I can get to it from the other side. Right, I'm at the top. You can just about see the screw down there. I've got this flexible head snap-on socket, 10mm. That should just about fit on there. Okay, yeah, we're undone it. I've left a bucket at the bottom there, so anything that comes out will go into a bucket, not on the floor. Okay. See the bolt's loose. I'll throw a magnet down there to get that out, and then we'll go back up again and remove the hose. Okay, so we can see the thermostat housing's loose. I can't get to the hose clip at the top there because someone's tightened the hose clip on the wrong side, or I can't gain access to it without removing the alternator. So I'm going to undo the hose at this end, pop it off, and then take the entire hose off. And then once on the floor, I'm going to loosen that hose clip off and turn it around so that you have better access to it in the future. So I've got this off now, the thermostat. It doesn't look like there's any issues with it. As you can see, you've got this little bleed valve at the top. Now that's normally at the top when the thermostat goes in, but this thermostat came out crooked. I had a feel inside the hole, and there is some protruding casting on there. So I'm just wondering if it caught the side, because when this was bolted up, there was a gap in this side corner where this hadn't been, well, it looked like it hadn't been fitted properly, and it was bowing. So I've got it here, I've got my light behind. I'm just going to lay it down and see if I can see any light through it. I mean, even right now you can see that the corner isn't touching. It's difficult to see. Let me swap the light around the other way. You have a look, this corner here, sitting proud. It's almost like got a bow in it. And I reckon that may have happened because the thermostat wasn't fitted properly. Now this is plastic, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to get some sandpaper. This table is pretty flat, so I'll sand this until we get a flat surface, and then we'll bolt it back together and see if it works. Well, we'll definitely have a high spot here. So far, this is the only edges that are actually sanding, here, here and here. So this is still low. These two edges are still low, so we need to keep going. Okay, so I've been at this for about 5 minutes. We're getting somewhere close. I've just gone over and painted the surface area with some primer, so it gives us an idea of what's high and what's low. So that's dry now, so I'm going to stand it down just briefly, just to see where we're at. So we can see we still have some low spots. These are high because they're worn out first, and these are low because we haven't got to them yet. Well, there we go, guys. Flat. Here's just a workbench which is reasonably flat. Now I could have ordered a new one of these, but then we'll end up throwing this in landfill. 10 minutes of hard work has prevailed, which means we can get this car, or the Trike, back on the road today, as opposed to waiting several days for a new one of these to turn up. At the end of the day, we're all mechanics. If we can't fix it, you know, we're in the wrong job. So that looks fixed. I'm going to put the thermostat back in correctly, this way as opposed to slightly angled. Put it back together, fill it up with coolant. Let's see if it works. Okay, thermostat's in. I've moved the hose clip around so it's more accessible. Okay, it's time to put the coolant in, and this coolant looks pretty crap. So I've got some fresh antifreeze, so we're going to start with that and then top it up with water afterwards. Just letting this warm up. You can see water's circulating through this pipe that's coming back. We saw the radiator down there with 2 fans. Just going to wait for them to kick in. Wait for the thermostat to open. Once the fans kicked in, I'll take it for a road test. we've got it to about 80 degrees. Just having a look, and it looks absolutely bone dry up there. There was a slight gap on this side, but that gap's gone now. We've sanded it out, so it's obviously worked. So I'm just waiting for these fans to cut in. Oh, there's one here. One here. The 2 fans. I've got my thermal imager here, so you can see what's happening. There you go, fans are kicked in. Thermostat's open. Definitely no leaks. Right, time for a road test. Well guys, I hope you enjoyed the video of this Rewaco RF1. Something different. As always, I try to make my videos interesting as possible for you guys. I'm not a fan of trikes. I've driven all sorts. This one rides, drives, different to anything else I've actually driven. It's so stable, and it just doesn't bounce you out of your seat like some of the other ones. As always guys, if you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button, subscribe button, and bell notifications so you're notified next time I upload a video. Take care guys.